Hello, very good morning from the 10th Avenue Extension Greater Estate. This is MBN TV, a mega broadcasting network of Alpha Multimedia. My name is El Samuels. We first look at the headlines.
Old Kolebu maternity block a death trap. New one to be built, Mahama. In business, Ghana to experience tomato glut in 3 to 4 months, Eric Opoku. And on the international front, Ukraine strikes Russian ships near Crimea, escalating attacks on fuel supplies.
Details of the stories and more. The news is also live across our social media handles on MBN 360. The President, John Dramani Mahama, has announced plans to construct a new maternity block at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
The new facility, he said, will replace the old Gordon Gorgesberg building, which he described as a death trap and unsuitable for providing maternal health care services, warning that its current state could have devastating consequences for patients and health workers. Speaking at the commissioning of the Ghana Medical Trust Fund Cardiac Catheterization Laboratory at the National Cardiothoracic Center of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital on Thursday, July 9, President Mahama disclosed that government has commenced the procurement process for the construction of the new maternity block. We are going through the procurement process to build a new maternity block for the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. We will pull down the old Gordon Gorgesberg building that has today become a death trap, he said. According to him, improving healthcare delivery goes beyond financing diagnosis and treatment, but also requires the availability of safe and appropriate facilities. Every other day, our mothers give birth in that building. It is a death trap that can cause devastation, he stated. The president further disclosed that the mandate of the Ghana Medical Trust Fund has been expanded to cover not only the financing of diagnosis and treatment, but also the provision of critical healthcare infrastructure and the availability of skilled personnel to support quality service delivery. He explained that the decision follows concerns over the sustainability of investments in medical equipment, with some facilities experiencing breakdowns due to inadequate maintenance. We found out that most of that equipment was not properly maintained and had broken down, and the hospitals were calling on governments again to do another retooling or replace the equipment. It is not a sustainable model, he said. President Mahama stressed that government's new approach is aimed at ensuring long-term sustainability in the health sector by protecting investments made in healthcare infrastructure, equipment, and services.
The Eastern South Regional Police Command has arrested 258 people with connection with the violent disturbances that occurred at Nsawam Adrejuri in the Eastern region on July 7, 2026.
According to the police, preliminary investigations indicate that some youth allegedly engaged in acts of violence, including looting shops, setting fire to an electricity company of Ghana Transformer, vandalizing the Oko Anajo Palace and an Astrotel facility, and attacking mobile money vendors. The incident reportedly caused fear and panic among residents in the community. In a statement issued on Thursday, July 9th, the police said the suspects were arrested during an operation conducted by the Eastern South Regional Police Commander in a collaboration with a team from the National Operations Directorate. During the operation, the police retrieved 2 locally manufactured firearms, quantities of dry leaves suspected to be Indian hemp, suspected tramadol and Viagra tablets, as well as several mobile phones believed to be relevant to the investigation. The 258 suspects are currently in the police custody, assisting investigations as authorities work to identify individuals directly involved in the various offenses committed during the disturbance. The command has assured residents that adequate security measures have been put in place to protect lives and property in the area. The Eastern South Regional Police Commander assures residents that adequate security measures remains in place to safeguard lives and property, the statement said. The command has also appealed to members of the public to provide any information that could assist the investigations and urged residents, particularly the youth, to remain law-abiding and refrain from actions that threaten public peace and security. The police further reiterated their commitment to maintaining law and order and ensuring their persons found culpable and are brought to justice.
Away from the Eastern region, now we move to the Communication Ministry, where the Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, Sam Nanseh George, has assured stakeholders that government will carefully review the findings and recommendations of the Digital Terrestrial Television DTT Committee before taking any decision on the future of the platform.
The assurance came on Thursday, July 9th, when the committee presented its final report to the minister at the ministry conference room in Accra. Speaking after receiving the report, Mr. George described its submission as an important milestone in the government's efforts to strengthen the governance and long-term sustainability of Ghana's digital terrestrial television platform. He explained that the ministry will engage relevant stakeholders before making decisions on implementing the proposed measures. The report being presented today, July 9th, represents an important milestone. It marks the beginning of the next phase of the government's efforts to strengthen the governance and sustainability of the digital terrestrial television platform. The ministry will carefully study the committee's finding and recommendations and engage the relevant stakeholders as appropriate before taking decisions.
Presented today represents an important milestone. It marks the beginning of the next phase of the government's efforts to strengthen the governance and sustainability of our DTT platform. The ministry will carefully study the committee's findings and recommendations and engage the relevant stakeholders as appropriate before taking decisions on the implementation of the proposed measures. You can be rest assured, even before the ministry takes concrete policy decision, I'll issue a white paper that will be shared with all members of the DTT committee for us to have consensus going forward. The objective will be to establish a governance and operational framework that will be transparent, equitable, financially sustainable, and capable of supporting continued investment and innovation within Ghana's broadcasting sector. Ultimately, the success of the DTT platform must be measured by its technical performance and its ability to provide reliable broadcasting services, to promote our media pluralism, and to support local content development. Support local content development, and ensure that all Ghanaians continue to benefit from accessible, high-quality, free-to-air television services.
Away from the ministry, we go straight to the business desk, where the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, has projected that Ghana will experience a tomatoes glut within the next 3 to 4 months, since government steps efforts to boost the local production and reduce the country's reliance on imports.
Appearing before Parliament's Committee on Assurances on Thursday, July 9, the minister said a series of interventions being implemented under the government's agricultural program are expected to significantly increase tomato production across the country. To prevent post-harvest losses, the minister disclosed that government is putting in place an offtake system to guarantee a market for farmers while engaging tomato processors to purchase the expected surplus. He added that government is also investing in solar-powered boreholes to support year-round irrigation, enabling farmers to increase production beyond the traditional growing season. We have put in place a lot of measures, and within the next 3 to 4 months, the results will be there for everyone to see. This is another big assurance. We are anticipating a glut of tomatoes in the coming months and are thinking about how we can get processors to offtake from our farmers. We are doing a lot of solar-powered boreholes across the country, he said. The minister expressed confidence that the measures will strengthen domestic tomato production, improve market opportunities for farmers, and gradually reduce Ghana's dependence on imported tomatoes while ensuring the country's broader food security agenda.
Now we go straight to the international front, where Ukraine military has intensified its attacks near the Russian annexed Crimea, following up strikes on Russia's land corridor to the peninsula by targeting marine supply routes as well.
Ukraine's Joint Force Commander Robert Brovdy, also known as Magyar, says at least 25 ships have been hit and set on fire over the past 4 days in the Sea of Azov, the inland sea linked to the Black Sea by the Kerch Strait. Such losses in so short a time are a clear blow to Russia's naval capability as well as Vladimir Putin's guarantee of maintaining fuel supplies. These attacks appear to be the latest phase of Ukraine's self-declared logistics lockdown, which aims to choke off supplies and routes into and out of occupied Crimea. Ukraine's military talks of 36 ships hit and that most belong to Russia's shadow fleet of commercial oil tankers. The exact number is unclear, as some ships may have been hit more than once and not all the strikes have been confirmed independently. The sight of tankers loitering in the Sea of Azov off the northeastern coast of occupied Crimea is common, as there is an onshore oil loading facility at Kerch Port on the peninsula itself. Kerch Port was attacked by Ukraine last month, and BBC Verify's analysis of satellite imagery shows the number of tankers in this area reduced in the days that followed. Nighttime footage of the latest strikes began appearing on social media early on Tuesday, and Brovdy detailed strikes every day between 6 and 9 July. The governor of Russia's Rostov region, Yuri Slyusa, said 2 empty tankers were attacked on Wednesday in Taganrog Bay in the northeast corner of the Sea of Azov, although they were still burning on Thursday. Brovdy says 2 tankers attacked earlier in the week were each carrying about 7,000 tons of fuel from Taganrog area to Crimea.
And that's it for this morning's Mega News at 6, live and direct from our studios on the 10th Avenue Extension, Great Estate in Dogono. But before we take leave, let's take a second look at the stories making headlines.
Old Kolebu maternity block a death trap. New one to be built, Mahama. In business, Ghana to experience tomato glut in 3 to 4 months, Eric Opoku. And on the international front, Ukraine strikes Russian ships near Crimea, escalating attacks on fuel supplies.
For more news, log on to MBN 360. My name is El Samuels. Up next is the sports update.